Humanitarian agencies in Somalia are warning of a looming climate change-related crisis that could affect millions of people across the country in a region which often suffers from lengthy droughts. The Horn of Africa country is now bracing itself for the El Niño rains. They're expected to trigger severe flooding over the coming months and impact lives and livelihoods. Mohammed Kahia reports from Mogadishu.
Food insecurity is always a major problem for authorities and aid agencies in Somalia. It is usually brought about by conflict or lack of rain to support agriculture. Just last year, the country suffered from a brutal and historic drought. Now, it is opposite. Indeed, some areas are already being impacted.
The estimates that we have right now are that the rains are likely to be the worst that we've seen in at least 20 years. With the most recent worst rains in 1997. And again, the estimates indicate that perhaps 1.2 million Somalis could be impacted by flooding over the course of the next 3 months, and 1.6 million hectares of land inundated as a result. These are forecasts, but they're based on science. And we've already seen the impacts on cities and towns across the country start to materialize in practice. And impacting disproportionately on already displaced communities, on IDP camps and host communities that were displaced as a result of previous crises in the country.
In the central region of Iran, more than 40,000 people have been displaced from their homes following days of heavy rains and subsequent floods. Many families are now living outside with little food and no roof over their heads.
Most people were sleeping when the water entered their homes. We just managed to get the children out and took them to a nearby mosque which is on higher ground. We did not have time to collect the food and our belongings, and that is why all of these people spent the night here, as you can see behind me.
Authorities in the region, which is prone to flooding, say they're doing all they can to help those affected, while stressing the need for aid agencies to respond urgently.
We are appealing to humanitarian organizations involved in the relief efforts to speed up the response because it seems that the weather predictions of El Niño are already happening. We have witnessed strong winds and rain during the past days. Therefore, we need to work closely together to help the displaced people.
The Somali Early Warning Center predicts the rains are likely to be the worst that we have seen in at least 20 years, as aid agencies seek more than $2.6 billion to meet the needs of 7.6 million people in the coming months. Mohammed Kahir, CGTN Mogadishu, Somalia.